A new war has broken out in Formula One. It's not happening on the racetrack, and it's not about engine power or aerodynamics. This is a secret battle being fought in the design offices and factories of every single team, a desperate struggle against the scales. The 2026 regulations are forcing the biggest technical revolution in a generation, and reports are now emerging that teams are facing a massive problem. Their new cars are simply too heavy. Very few, if any, are expected to hit the minimum weight target at the start of the season, and the difference between the lightest and the heaviest cars could be over 10 kilograms. In a sport where every single gram counts, this is a crisis that could define the new era of Formula One before a single wheel has even been turned in anger. For years, drivers and fans have been complaining about the ever-increasing weight of Formula One cars. These incredible machines have become bloated and sluggish. To put it in perspective, when Fernando Alonso made his debut in 2001, the cars weighed less than 600 kilograms. The 2025 cars tipped the scales at a massive 800 kilograms. That's an increase of over 200 kilos, the equivalent of strapping 2 extra passengers into the car. For 2026, the FIA has finally listened and is trying to reverse the trend. The new regulations demand a significant weight reduction of 30 kilograms, bringing the minimum weight down to 768 kilos. The cars will also be smaller, with the wheelbase reduced by 200 millimeters and the width cut by 100 millimeters. On paper, it sounds like a step in the right direction. But in reality, it has created a huge headache for the engineers. The problem is that while the cars are getting smaller, the new power units are getting more complex and, in some areas, heavier. The 2026 engines will have a near 50-50 split between the internal combustion engine and the electric motor. That's a huge leap in performance, but it comes at a cost. The battery needed to store and deploy all that extra energy is significantly heavier and larger than the current units. So engineers are facing a fundamental contradiction. The regulations demand a lighter car, but the new hybrid system adds weight. It's an engineering nightmare, a puzzle where the pieces just don't seem to fit, and the pressure to solve it is immense. This isn't just about finding a few grams here and there. It requires a complete rethink of the car's architecture. The consequences of getting this wrong are huge. Every 10 kilograms of extra weight is estimated to cost around 0.3 of a second per lap. That's an eternity in Formula One. We saw a perfect example of this in 2024 with the Alpine team. Their car was reportedly 10 kilos overweight at the start of the season, and they were nowhere. It took them until the Miami Grand Prix in May just to get down to the minimum weight, by which time their season was already a write-off. Now, Paddock insiders are predicting a similar story for 2026, but on a much bigger scale. And this time, it won't just be one team suffering. According to reports, very few teams are expected to meet the minimum weight at the start of the season. The difference between the heaviest and the lightest cars could be over 10 kilograms, which translates to a gap of around 0.3 of a second per lap. That's the difference between fighting for pole position and starting in the midfield. It's a hidden advantage that could shape the entire championship before the first race even begins. Williams team principal James Vowles has been one of the most open about the challenge. He recently told the media, "I think most will be overweight. That's the simple facts behind it. It's a very aggressive target." While Vowles believes the target is manageable in the long run, he admits it will be a huge struggle at the start. Mercedes technical director Andrew Shovlin echoed these concerns, calling the weight issue a huge challenge. He explained, "The limit wasn't set by summing components, it was simply imposed. It's much cheaper to remove weight before parts are made than after cars are built. Teams in previous regulations were 10 to 20 kilos overweight initially, which is costly and interferes with development. Our aim is to start as close to the limit as possible. This fear of being overweight and unreliable is so great that it has led to an unprecedented decision for the first pre-season test in Barcelona. The test, scheduled for the end of January, will be held completely behind closed doors. No live TV broadcast, no media access, nothing. The teams are terrified of a repeat of the 2014 pre-season test, the last time there was a major engine regulation change. The teams are desperate to avoid a repeat of that embarrassment, especially now, with F1's massive new global audience watching their every move thanks to the success of Drive to Survive. James Vowles summed up the anxiety in the paddock perfectly. "We don't know where we are with synthetic fuel, we don't know where we are on the fuel system working with it, and we don't know where we're at on the power unit yet. I still think you're going to find a lot of cars in the garage for a long period of time. That's one of my biggest concerns." The FIA itself has acknowledged that the weight limit is aggressive. Nicholas Tombazis, the FIA's single-seater director, has said that the governing body would like the cars to be even lighter in the future. He explained that some of the solutions being discussed for future powertrains could lead to significantly lighter cars, which is what everyone in the sport wants. But for now, the 768 kilogram target is what teams have to work with, and it's proving to be a massive challenge. The teams that can get closest to the 768 kilogram limit will have an instant and significant advantage. It will require radical design choices, the use of exotic lightweight materials, and a relentless focus on shedding every possible gram from every single component. Some teams might even be forced to make compromises on reliability or aerodynamic performance just to get closer to the weight limit. The drivers are all for it. Fernando Alonso said, "I think the cars are definitely too heavy. They are too big." George Russell agreed, saying the move to make cars smaller, lighter, is going in the right direction. But the question is, can the teams actually achieve it? The battle for the 2026 World Championship has already begun. It's a battle fought not with horsepower, but with grams. Every single component is being examined, every material choice questioned. Teams are looking at exotic materials like carbon fiber composites, titanium, and even magnesium alloys to shave off precious kilograms. The monocoque, the gearbox casing, the suspension components, everything is being redesigned with weight as the primary concern. Some engineers are even looking at the smallest details, like the weight of the wiring looms and the paint on the car. It sounds extreme, but in this new era, every gram matters. The teams that win this battle will be the ones celebrating on the podium. The teams that lose will be left behind, struggling with their overweight and uncompetitive cars. And the pressure is only going to increase as the season goes on. Once the development race begins, teams will need to add upgrades to their cars, which means adding weight. The teams that start the season closest to the limit will have the most room to develop. The teams that start overweight will be stuck in a vicious cycle. The stakes could not be higher. What are your thoughts? Do you think the FIA has been too aggressive with the 2026 weight limit? Which teams do you think will master this new challenge and which will struggle? Let us know in the comments below. And once you do that, make sure to click on the video that's appearing on your screen right now.